don't know what to. I thought it was the baby thing. I thought the baby thing would be like the line of, all right, I'm excited for Death Stranding, but come on, man, you gotta. I'm gonna need a little something. I don't really care what it is.
I gotta know what. Like, I've never been more interested in like what gameplay will look like for a game, and I know when I see it, I'm gonna be like, this is fucking dumb.
It's about to be a top-down Metroidvania style.
Hell yeah.
Style.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Emergent Gamer Podcast. This is one of your hosts, Trib Zero, and this is episode 151, not sponsored by Bacardi, unfortunately, but it's on the list. It's on the list.
I was thinking of that in my head.
Sure.
You ever shoot that stuff?
Yeah, hell yeah, dude. Me and Kevin Oates, we get pretty reckless with the 151. We'll always ask for it at restaurants and just get really, really disgusted looks and almost, just... People suggest that we leave because they don't have that stocked.
So
but it's all right.
I used to drive around the countryside in a van.
Yeah, I thought that was the end of the story.
No. So I grew up kind of like below the Mason-Dixon line, below the Pennsylvania border in Maryland, and we used to, for fun, drive up. It was recent that I went to Oxford too, but I used to drive up to Oxford. Hold on.
Okay. I'm just gonna. Can I get an estimate on the time on the story? Because we
real
should
quick.
at least do
I'm almost
intros
done.
and then we can get back to it for sure.
We used to drive through the country.
Okay.
And one time we went on a jaunt. We would load up the van with like a couple 30 packs of beer. Yeah, and we brought with us a bottle of 151. And we ended up lighting a shot of it on fire. And my buddy did it right in my van.
Nice.
On fire.
Nice.
It was insane.
This man needs to know.
I'm sure the van had. Yeah, right. We know who that is.
He got second-degree burns on his lips.
Nice.
It was crazy.
I guess nice. I mean, I don't know. Is he okay now these days? What is he
Yeah,
doing?
he seems good.
Still drinking fire?
I hope not.
Okay.
He's got like 3 kids.
Who am I talking to this whole time? Just
This
for people that are
is
new. Maybe.
Felix Surgood.
Felix Surgood, welcome to the show. Who do I have across from Felix?
Snacks the cat.
Snacks the cat, Snacks the cat. And we've got another very special guest. Not that you aren't special, Snacks, but you've been here a while. People know you.
Oh, yeah.
I'm still excited to see you, but
I'm done.
I'm going to quantify this as a more special guest. Just, no offense.
Every week, Snacks says, don't. Every week at the end of a show, Snacks goes, don't find me. And we find him anyway.
Yeah, it's great.
I guess so,
Yeah. Don't find me. I'm not anywhere.
Don't search
Please
me.
don't.
Who is this?
Diamondjab.
Diamondjab, welcome back to the show. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah.
Diamondjab from GSM Podcast.
Yeah.
Welcome back, man.
Diamondjab. Yeah.
Shout him out.
Words are coming. They're on their way.
Just God. Felix really took this keep it to an hour seriously.
Yeah, right.
Like, let's go.
Except when it came time for his friend drinking fire. That story
You
can take all
made me
goddamn
think
day.
of 151.
With second-degree burns on his lips, did he sound like a Gen 1 Pokemon character?
No.
I don't know what Gen 1 Pokemon says that, but
It says shoot it.
Sounded like a Deadite.
A Deadeye.
From Evil Dead.
I had to like really rack my brain for a second there. Yeah, shit. From
Any one of
guy
them.
with the pins in the heads.
No.
No?
That's Hellraiser.
Aren't they Deadites?
Yeah. Maybe. Were they Deadites?
I thought they had their I thought that was the name of their own little like.
Wait, are the Hellraiser movies and the Evil Dead movies connected and I didn't even know?
I'm probably getting that wrong because I don't watch a lot of horror movies. I'm a huge bitch.
The guy with the pins in his head.
I knew you were talking about Evil Dead.
Yeah.
I didn't know about that.
I just thought the Deadites were the pinhead.
I'm going to look that up. I'm going to get back to you next week.
Fact check.
Yeah, fact check us out there,
Get back to
listeners.
you on that one.
Tweet us, at us. Anyway, we're going to start like we always do, at least currently. We're going to chat about what we've been getting up to, what we've been getting into, what we're gaming, what we're playing. Who wants to start?
Snacks.
oh Jesus.
No, I love it. Just threw him right out there.
Yeah, pretty much. I've been so I'm just patiently waiting Monster Hunter this week, as well as Dragon Ball Fighters, because they're going to be awesome, and I'm not going to have time for either of them. But I've just pretty much just been buying my time, downloading old stuff. Hearthstone I've been playing a lot of.
Nice,
Overwatch
nice.
had its update yesterday, so I've been trying to get skins and not getting anything with my hard-earned money. Whatever. That's just how it is. But I've actually been playing a lot of Fortnite, surprisingly.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like I don't know why, because like my friends were like, "Oh yeah, just play it," and I was like, "I'm not really about like the whole battle royale genre right now." Played a few matches and like now I'm just like really hooked, and like my whole friend circle right now is just constantly playing. Like they're playing right now and they're like, "You playing?" I was like, "Nah, I gotta go record with some people right now." It's like
I gotta go talk to humans.
I could be
in
surviving
person.
against 100 people right now, but instead I gotta listen to somebody talk about 151 and fire.
You're doing the battle royale mode every time. Have you Have you tried the regular one?
I have not, because it's free. It's like, why not?
Yeah,
like,
right.
That's the other reason. It's like, yeah, it's free, whatever. Sink some time.
You only get the full game if you buy it.
Yeah.
I've actually heard no one
bought
talk about
into the Fortnite
Did you?
early. Yeah,
because I was gonna say I've heard no one actually talk about what a single player what the campaign of it is.
It got better, but it doesn't it doesn't matter. Like so real quick, and then I'll let you get back to it. Fortnite started with the survival mode. It was okay, and then it got better, and then Epic realized that no one was buying Paragon at all. No one was buying it, and they said, well, with PUBG's popularity, that's where the battle royale came from, and now everyone has flocked to it. The survival mode is just there.
Right.
Like you could argue that Fortnite's attention to that, or Epic's attention to that, is almost non-existent. It's just there. If you want to play it, that's fine. That's cool. You get an okay survival mode, but it's a battle royale.
Wait,
It's
I'm a little confused. So, is there a paid version of Fortnite?
Yes.
At all?
Yes, that's where you get the survival mode
There's a
and the
survival
battle royale.
mode,
The
and-
battle royale is free to play.
Isn't there
if you do
PvE
it on its own?
to some extent?
That's
as well?
the PvE. That's
Yeah,
the
the
survival
I
mode.
gotcha.
Yeah.
But like you also pay just to get like there's like in-game currency that you can pay for, and it's like
Get loot
it just-
crates and all
yeah,
that stuff.
exactly.
Of
And it
course you
just gives you like character models and stuff, which some of my friends have just done, because it's like I've sunk in like over like 50 hours in this game. Yeah, I'll give it $10 so that I can get a cool night costume.
Yeah.
It's
Sure,
like,
sure.
yeah, whatever. I guess I can get behind that. I did think it was funny, like last year, like near the end of the year, when like PlayerUnknown like Battlegrounds, like their whole thing where they were just like, oh, like they're trying to take back like, or like basically like bring it up in like, I guess like a legal situation, like how, because they were so against like Fortnite and everything taking that model, but it's like you can't just coin a genre of a game like in like
Yeah,
copyright
PUBG
that.
was trying to say like, hey, we own like
The
battle
patent?
royale.
Yeah.
The battle royale.
Well,
patent?
people were making fun of Fortnite because it was so obvious. Them coming out with the battle royale was a reaction to the popularity of PUBG.
I mean, it
wasn't a natural thought.
Right,
It is
right.
literally a rip.
Yeah.
I guess
only
it
difference
can
is you
get
build
kind of
stuff.
tricky with games. It's different with like creative stuff, like movies and stuff like that.
Sure.
They say you can't like copyright an idea.
Yeah.
But the thing about games is that they have a mechanic. They have something mechanical that theoretically you could patent, and then people could fight you for it.
Yeah, but game modes are different. That's like The Witcher trying to copyright cyberpunk, right?
Right.
Even though there's an entire literary genre that has to do with that.
Yeah. Oh, you got your groups in a party, and you're taking turns. You and your
yeah.
enemies are taking turns. You can't do that. Your enemies can't take turns.
turn-based? No,
I
we
made
can't
that.
do
I got
that.
turns.
Yeah.
I'm Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to talk to like at some point like a lawyer who actually knows about this to determine.
No lawyer wants to talk to you about video games.
None of them do. Yeah,
Bruh, if Fortnite went to go find a lawyer, they would be spending forever trying to find it
Yeah.
because it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
there's no case. You can't own a genre.
It is funny though.
That's
It's
the
a
end of it.
direct ripoff of
It's so like ridiculous.
PUBG.
The only difference is you can build stuff. That's it.
Yeah,
But the
yeah.
survival mode like is there, and there were like semblances of the survival mode that were really good. Like you had like different class of characters. So you had like ninjas, and you had like instructors, and there was a great thought process there. But Fortnite was kind of the like Epic has just been reacting to whatever's out there. Fortnite was the reaction to the fact that everyone had loot boxes.
Yeah.
So there was like a huge loot box situation, and people were like, "Oh, not only do I have to pay to play the game in early access, but I also have to pay to get loot boxes." This was ridiculous.
Right.
And now Fortnite Battle Royale is just a rip off of the Battle Royale genre. And
It's taking it by storm.
everything about Fortnite is reactionary. None of it is actually like, I mean, aside from the creative aspects of it, which are really cool. But
they're killing it though with that battle royale.
Oh yeah, and they keep updating it.
I
They
think
just
the
made a huge
building-
it's
update.
fun to watch.
Yeah, the building I think really sets it apart. And I've been meaning to try it out, so it's funny that you mentioned that you're in it.
Good time to jump. Yeah.
What else you got?
that's pretty much what's holding me down. I've been playing a few downloadable games, like Enter the Gungeon. I jump in once in a while, but like it's just like just holding down for the real meat and potatoes later this week. Good
2
job.
days, right?
It's 2 days.
Monster Hunter,
Stoked.
2
Holy
days.
shit. Yes.
The show will be out on Friday.
Yeah, there might be some people playing.
The day
You can
the
listen
Game-
while
if
you're,
you're listening to the
getting your
show.
game started.
Yeah, if you're listening to the show, go get Monster Hunter. It's out.
I mean, why like, don't tell them to do that. Are we getting paid for that?
No.
Okay.
Monster
you're
Hunter is
Capcom.
amazing. The visuals are gorgeous, and the game plays better than ever. 6 out of 10.
Reviews in
That's
20,
my
late
IGN.
2017,
That's my IGN
2018.
impression.
Yeah,
That's
that's
my
exactly
IGN
what
impression.
they are. Yeah.
Isn't IGN normally the company that's like eight out of 10?
Evolve has no creativity. There's nothing about it that's interesting. It gets boring after a while. 9 out of 10.
Exactly. Yeah, that's totally their thing.
Did I
hear you?
Oh, how much ad revenue? Oh,
Did I hear you say that on your show?
Dude,
I heard
we make
it
fun
somewhere.
of IGN
Yeah.
all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
They do some of the like. I have to give Dustin Legary credit because he gave Curse of Osiris like a 5.5 out of 10, and I was
Yeah.
like, you're fucking up when Dustin Legary is a huge fan of your game. Is just like,
wow.
don't play.
Yeah.
Done
Damn,
deal.
dude.
Who's next?
How about yourself, Diamond?
I am also waiting for Dragon Ball Fighters. We're gonna be doing a fighting tournament on Sunday.
Oh, dope,
at my
dude.
place.
Awesome.
We're gonna do it like once a month. It's called Fight Nights. It'll be on my channel, so anyone who wants to.
I was going to ask if you're going to broadcast it.
Yeah, we're
Nice.
going to broadcast it live. I'm aiming for once a month is kind of what I'm aiming for, which is like the comfort level. And we'll do 12 rounds essentially throughout the year.
Cool.
But we're going to start with Dragon Ball Fighters. So a bunch of people are coming up for it, which is going to be cool.
You play
Nice.
the beta?
I did.
What's a character you're gravitating towards?
So I'm a little torn because I found myself really enjoying. So the character when the game was first coming out that I knew I was going to use was Kid Gohan. I was like, Kid Gohan is where it's at. It's my favorite character in the series. Done deal.
Okay.
And then I played as adult Gohan.
Yo.
And I was like, wow, okay, he's pretty good.
Yeah.
He was like the last person I played.
I think my 3 are going to be one of the Gohans. I don't know if I'll do 2. One of the Gohans, Hit and then Cell.
Oh my god.
Hit and Cell are going to be my 3. Hit is unfair.
Fucking crazy.
He's unfair.
What he can do.
Yeah.
I'm all about Frieza with the spacing.
Yeah.
Real good.
Frieza's really good. But so I was playing that, and that was a lot of fun, even though it didn't work for a little while. They had to
The
re-release
beta?
the beta again.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because people couldn't get into matches. But what I'm playing right now, and criticize me all you want to for saying it, I did play some Destiny 2 during the faction rally.
I mean, I hopped in one day.
I'm learning something about this game, and I'm learning something about myself, is that when I find something to do, I'm okay with the game. When the game gives me nothing to do, I'm furious at it. I was completely okay going around and getting the ornaments for my faction gear, and I was all right with that. I have 3 characters and whatever. And then I went, I didn't notice that the chick on Titan has the gear set there and the set for that character and the ornaments for it, and it looks really dope for the hunter. So I said, all right, I'm going to play as my hunter and I'm going to go get that gear set. And I wasted like so much time because I found something I wanted to do, right? They didn't tell me that this chick had the gear set. I had to go find it myself. So I'm learning something about the game that like I really need to, and it's what I learned at the end of vanilla Destiny 1 because I didn't like the Dark Below at all.
Right.
So I stopped playing. The next time I played after that was Taken King.
Oh, wow.
So I
Skipped House
skipped
of Wolves.
all of House of Wolves and Dark
shit.
Below.
Wow.
And when I came back, I was like, oh shit, House of Wolves was pretty good.
Yep.
And Taking King is fantastic, but I didn't play for 6 months, so I was behind so much. So my learning opportunity was like, no, I'm going to stick with it. We'll see what's going on. I'm still furious about a lot of stuff, but I'm finding things to do. But on my Switch, I'm also playing Enter the Gungeon, which is fantastic. But the game that caught me by surprise was when Locke started talking about Hellblade. And I picked up Hellblade a couple days ago.
Is that hitting you as hard as it's hit everybody else?
Yes. And I have toned back a lot of my the games that I thought I would like. So I bought Assassin's Creed Origins. I knew I was going to love it. I haven't played it in 4 weeks.
That's why I don't have
haven't
it
picked
either.
it up.
Yeah.
Haven't had any interest to play.
That's okay. I'm playing it for you.
Yeah. I picked up Hellblade and I played it for like 3 straight hours.
Nice.
Immersed, and I was just in.
Yep.
And I'm like, yo, I'm in the middle of playing it, and my wife is sitting next to me, and she listens to my show, and she listens to all the shows all the time. And I looked at her and I went, she goes, what? I said, Phil Spencer doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. This story game is blowing my fucking mind right now.
Yeah.
And not just in the experience, but the thing that came to my mind that changed my perspective was, I wish I spent my $30 sooner. And that's the thing that Phil Spencer doesn't get. It's not that story games don't sell. It's that when people get the chance to experience them like right then and there, I want my money to be taken by someone now.
Yeah.
And I wish I would have given these guys my $30 sooner.
Yeah.
And like I was just totally immersed when someone in my right ear is going, hey, someone's behind you. And then someone in my left ear is going, nah, bro, there's no one behind you.
Yep.
And I'm like,
What do you do?
who is it's? And I turn around and I get hit in the face with a sword.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is an experience with no multiplayer element. They're not giving me another dungeon to raid 2 weeks from now and some live service. It's an experience. And I want to pay for that. And I think that's the thing that he's missing.
Yeah.
Is players will play and they'll play for as long as you give
Phil
them
Spencer
stuff. Phil
said-
Spencer is the head of Xbox. And he is under this perception that games as a service is the future. And that might be the case, but he's also under the perception that the financial benefits of story games do not exist like they used to. And I think that is the wrong perception.
Yeah. Definitely.
I think it impacts buying decisions though, because like developing a game to be a service conditions us as players to be like, well, what am I going to get out of this game? Like, I can't play Hellblade for 3 years. That's why should I waste my money? I'm going to spend my money on a game that gives me the most. So like you start to think that no, it's not truly worth it. And then like you said, you don't give the developer money soon enough and they don't have their money. And then they are like, well, this is not worth it. And that's it.
Absolutely. So like, I think back to like, what if you didn't play BioShock, the original BioShock, until like 2 years after it came out? What if players?
That's what I did.
Fine. But what if what if
The
Phil
majority,
Spencer's perception is that the majority of people don't do that? Do you even get, mind you, I'm not even going to quote BioShock 2 because that's all. Like you wouldn't have even gotten BioShock Infinite if BioShock didn't sell the way it did.
Do you remember
my opinion,
that first trailer
for
it?
It's insane how crazy that game is to this day.
Dude.
Now they shoved multiplayer in the second game because they were forced to do so by 2K, but that's another story.
Yeah.
Like, I just think the perception is wrong that players don't want to spend money on story games. I just think it's wrong.
It's
and
wrong,
I was playing
100%.
Hellblade, and I went,
yeah,
I'm absolutely right.
You said
Like,
it. You said it correctly.
Usually, I'm like, well, it's just my opinion. Phil Spencer is the CEO of a whole fucking branch of a company.
Yeah.
Like
He's gotta know.
He's got to know.
Right.
He's got to have the evidence in front of him. And I'm playing Hellblade. Like, no, I am 100% right.
Yeah.
No,
There's no way he could prove me wrong.
Totally.
No, you were right when you said that players don't want to spend money on story games, or you were right. He was right when he said it, but you were right in the saying that people do want to spend money on story games. They just don't do it initially.
Initially, yeah.
They do it later.
But is that enough of a reason to not make the game?
I
Because Phil, like Xbox is just now dishing out money to try to get companies that are making single player games. Their lineup was all multiplayer.
Mm-hmm.
Scalebound was the one game that they were going to do. And it's
our
not there
knowledge.
anymore. To our knowledge,
There was even murmuring of like connectivity. Like
the only other thing that's floating around right now is that Playground Studios, the company that does Forza Horizon, is apparently working on Fable, which we thought was dead in the water because Lionhead wasn't good enough to make it apparently.
Right, yeah.
Because they were trying to do like card games and shit, and Xbox was like, nah, we're
Peter Molyneux's
okay.
I mean, what
right
you're
now.
saying definitely points to why Xbox isn't really competing with Sony
That's what I'm saying.
on story games.
we talked about this in the show, and I'm sorry that I'm taking up this much time.
It's
really
fine.
am sorry.
It's
But we talked
good,
about
dude.
this on our the thing that I could be 100% sleeping on PlayStation because they announced God of War is coming out April 20th.
Yeah.
I'm assuming Days Gone is coming out this year. I know Spider-Man is coming out this year.
Yeah, you tweeted about that.
I could be sleeping on the year that PlayStation is about to throw in my face.
It's gonna be a big one. It's gonna be a real big one.
Aside from Sea of Thieves, I'm not buying another Forza, bruh. I'm not doing that.
Right. You'll need to. You got all your game right there.
You gave me Forza 5 for free. It's the same thing. I don't need to buy another Forza. So I mean, I don't know. They're gonna throw another Gears. I just got Gears 4.
Yeah.
And it's okay.
I don't
Yeah,
think they know
it's
what they're
alright.
gonna do. I think they're putting everything on Sea of Thieves.
You gotta let 343 do another Halo? Come on, man.
that.
Come on, bro.
I definitely want
That
I want State of Decay too. If that comes
State
out
of
this
Decay
year.
but State of Decay is like $20. It was like,
Yeah.
and that game fucks you hard if you don't play it for like a day.
Oh no, they changed that.
Did they?
You're talking about the thing where
Dude,
You
put it
die
down, yeah.
if you're out of it. Yeah.
I play State of Decay, and it's a game that relies on real time. So like I didn't
they
play for
changed
2
that,
days.
yeah.
I came back and like half of my camp was either missing or
Jesus
dead.
Christ.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
you had to always be in
Wish
there.
Animal Crossing played like that.
Right? That'd be
Just
dope.
came back and like half my town is dead.
Yeah, I had found out that like
been?
I had found
All
out that
dead.
the preacher had to go shoot one of the girl
Yeah.
because she got like all diseased and infected and she was afraid she was going to
like,
die.
bruh,
girl.
can't you wait until I give you my input before you go shooting people?
And
No,
in
dude.
my
I can go
first,
get a med
He's
kit.
got
I can
fucking- he's
delay
got
this
places to
fuck,
be.
man.
in my first playthrough, the reason it all happened was crazy. My character died. My initial character I was playing with,
Yeah.
this girl, she died, and all the other characters got depressed because of it.
Oh, that was a rough night to watch ABC.
Because you could do like the more you do, the more confidence you build in the people around you, and then if that character dies, the willpower just plummets. People
I'm
are
sorry,
committing
I
And then they
suicide.
get-
I had to meal
They're
prep.
starving.
They get physically sick. Like
It's
all kinds of
insane.
crazy shit happens.
Oh my
instead.
and I'm like,
Okay.
what is this?
I love it, and I heard it's going to be like Sea of Thieves. It's going to be cross compatible with PC.
Yeah.
I
You
played it
getting
for-
I don't know.
Because I'm
Because
getting it.
ironically, even though I hated that was my favorite feature of the game because I kept coming back because I
Yeah,
was
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
afraid that people were just gonna, oh man,
It's
it's been 2
definitely
days. I'm gonna jump out of the church tower. That's kind of the.
It has a
haven't-
nice twist to it, dude.
It
keeps
is. It's such
keeps
a
it
good
really
mechanic.
fresh,
So now
yeah.
if it's not there, like I'm kind of like,
I
am
can't
gonna have like a
remember. I
motivation?
can't remember. It's been a
Yeah,
while.
yeah.
I thought I remember them patching
That
it,
game
so it
ran
didn't
like
do that.
shit though.
Did
It
it?
was it ran awful.
Yeah.
On the Xbox One.
It didn't run very well on PC either. I played it for 2 hours because it's good to know that everybody that I saved in those 2 hours
They're
is
dead.
now fucking
They're
dead.
dead.
It's now
Yeah.
oh
For
oh
sure
if you
they're
go
dead.
back to
Yeah.
that, they are for sure dead.
All of them.
Or you are dead and they went off and did their own thing.
Yeah.
So like,
It would be
yeah.
funny though to log in after this amount of real time, and the game's just like, dude, what the fuck?
Yo,
man?
I just have like a candy bar in my
that should
hand.
be the text box you get at the bottom
Yeah.
when the preacher comes up to tell you, like, bro,
One single character walks
where
up.
have you been?
One
All
survivor.
the plants are
It is
dead. There's, like, no
2018,
food.
my friend.
Bruh, it's been a year. Oh, let me get you caught up.
So good.
Everyone's dead.
I'll just have a candy bar in my mouth. I'll be like, whoa.
Yeah,
What? Sorry.
shit to do, man.
I know I was saving you guys, but I wasn't too interested. But yeah, so I was playing
Hellblade.
Hellblade, and it's lock is 100% on the board.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Awesome.
Fucking
It commits
amazing.
all the way through the end.
It's
It
so
never
good.
drops it.
Yeah, but that's it.
Felix.
I beat the Predator.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I heard
in,
about this.
Ghost Recon.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought
so-
you were talking like some old SNES game that you.
No,
For a
it got-
second, I was like, I was
it's
with
been,
you.
It's
No.
been 12 years. I finally
I know,
beat
and then I'm like, wait, what could he possibly be talking
I
about?
came in with a non.
I got it.
In everyone's defense, I came in with a non sequitur. I did that on purpose.
Okay.
All right. So Ghost Recon added like almost like a. It's not DLC. You don't have to pay for it. It's just a world event, right? And the world event shows up on the map in the same place for everybody. You go to it, and it's so cool because it like introduces the Predator just like the movie did. You find a younger girl who's just crying. In
Oh
the
wait, you're not
forest.
joking.
I'm not even joking.
Oh,
You thought he was just
So-
going
I
like
thought
on a
he
bit
was
for
it
this
was
whole
like-
time.
Well, Ghost Recon Wildlands is in like Bolivia, and all
It
these
is,
drug
it
dealers
is.
have like names
Yeah.
and all this other stuff. So I was like, oh, this must be
So-
like some drug cartel map.
Let-
No,
let me set the scene for you.
Oh, okay.
So Ghost Recon takes place, like you said, in a narco state, Bolivia.
Yeah.
And you just have to, normally you would just go around the map, take down narcos, whatever, find clues, all that stuff. In this certain section of the map where this shows up, you start to hear the loud scream of the predator, like in the distance. Yeah, it's crazy. And then all of a sudden, it unlocks on the map, the icon for it.
Yeah. Predator's ripping just
you go to it,
rails of coke.
You go to it, and you find the girl, like a model of the girl from the movie who knows all about it. And basically, she says the same thing. She says, "Only in the hottest years." This, the whole monologue she has from the movie.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, you're trying to investigate clues just like the movie, where you find like bodies and ritualistic shit and like all that stuff. And then, sure enough, you got to go into this section of the woods, and you have to fight the predator. And he has all his weaponry, and it's hard as fuck, dude. We tried to do it for 4 hours on my stream live. You can watch it. We did not succeed. And get this: the night of the Eagles game, the Eagles win. And right before the game was ending, I texted Adrenaline, right? And I said, Adrenaline, you want to try and take down the Predator again? He said, yeah. I said, I'll be there in like 45 minutes. He decided, I'm going to get on now and try. I said, okay. I get in 45 minutes later, and he's like a second away from killing this thing.
Oh, my God. Did
by
you
himself.
hop into his party?
I hop into his party,
win?
and he gets shot and is dead. I hopped in right when he got shot.
Wow. And so now it's up to you. It's all on your
I
shoulders.
go and I heal him, and he's in this perfect quadrangle of trees, like 4 huge giant oak trees, and he has perfect cover for me to like raise him. So I raise him up, and then I get shot by the predator. I get shot by one of his discs. Right, his disc flies in, and then Adrenaline went and finished him off. And I was dead, and he even does the thing at the end where he starts laughing and then explodes, and Adrenaline has 10 seconds to run out of the circle.
Wow.
And then it blows up in this huge explosion. And then you get like a novelty mask, predator mask.
Which I'm sure everybody wants because it shows you did it.
I can.
Yeah, it shows you did it. Yeah.
I can.
What, like...
They gave you a mask
they
for all this shit?
They put an
Oh, no,
entire
well,
Predator
they're
game.
You didn't get no weapon?
Okay.
Nothing?
No, I mean, the
Bruh.
event itself gives free content. There's
Okay.
So the fact that it showed up, there's now like free tattoos that you can get in the games, all cosmetic stuff for your character. There's no gun. You don't get the predator.
I don't get the predator.
I heard you get some kind of weapon, but I think you have to play more missions in order to do
Jesus
that.
Christ.
Here's the deal.
What?
Ubisoft, you're doing things right now. They're sounding pretty
You're
interesting.
doing things.
You're doing this Predator thing with
got
your
some
Ghost
stuff going
Recon.
on.
Yeah.
Whatever. That's cool. You're sleeping on this if you don't do this. Division 2, whenever the fuck it comes out.
Apparently it's...
Seasonal event. Snake Plissken in New York.
Yo.
Whoa.
Give it to me.
That'd be deep.
Fucking give it to me.
I'd play every minute.
You
of that
kidding me?
event.
Are you talking about Escape from New York?
Yes.
Yeah.
Fucking give him to me.
Bruh.
Yeah,
Okay?
That'd be dope.
That would be cool.
Fucking
Apparently
Kurt Russell
Division
down
2
on his knees.
People are saying Ubisoft is going to announce 2 IPs at E3, and a lot of people think one of them is going to be a sequel to The Division. Because
Division 2, Kurt Russell's Revenge?
they've resurrected this game from the fucking grave.
I can't believe
Yeah,
that
I heard
they've,
it's
that they've
awesome.
had
that
that
game
kind of a
was
turnaround.
Dead.
It was dead.
And it is so good right now.
I can one up you. Watch Dogs 2 DLC takes place in San Francisco.
Christ.
Big Trouble in Little China DLC.
Jesus
it would be
Christ.
so amazing,
They
dude.
just keep reusing
You gotta
his Kurt Russell.
Guys.
take down the Wing Kong Exchange.
I don't know why. I don't know why we're
Guys,
recording an episode.
Luigi's Mansion 3, Ghost. Like, no.
Patrick Swayze.
Patrick
Luigi-
Swayze.
Luigi
in
and Mario.
Ghost, Luigi
Just,
with
yeah,
the thing.
clay-
Yeah,
At
with
least
the
I was
clay pot.
keeping it in the
Yeah,
vein of Ubisoft. Anyway.
Okay, that's fair.
I don't know why we're recording an episode. We should be hired clearly for
Clearly.
these design
Yeah.
decisions.
Bro, I'm putting
the-
out just as good ideas as Assassin's Creed Unity.
The only thing I was going to say is the other day when I was live streaming, I was playing Battlefield 1, and I noticed that my stream in OBS was red bar, and I had like 60% drop frames.
Oh, wow.
And in addition to that, my Battlefield 1 latency was 330. People averaged 30. I was at
Literally
330.
10 times. That.
So I would shoot
11,
a sniper
literally.
rifle shot, and the person would literally run away, and my bullet would get there. It was so bad.
Yeah, that's
it was terrible. So I found out that I was at half a megabit of upload, basically.
Yeah, that'll do it.
So yeah,
Call that.
Sold it.
Call that provider.
we upgraded we upgraded to gigabit internet. So
Yeah, that's what
I
I
finally have that.
That's
And,
what I got.
Nice.
And now I'm getting more like somewhere between 20 and 40 uploads. So
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Awesome.
Yeah, everything was great the other day.
Cool.
What have you been playing, Drew?
So I picked up Metro Redux, the combo collection.
Ooh, I want to get
with
that.
Xbox.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
and I was really excited to dive in and play it.
People aren't buying
I know where this is
single
going.
player.
I saw your tweet.
I hated it.
Yeah, I hate it too. I think that game sucks.
What was the ooh for? Ooh.
He was waiting to see what I was going to
Well,
say.
What's wrong with it?
Really? Yeah.
So
It's so dated.
all right. I gave Fallout 4 another chance, and I'm not done with it, but like, I wanted the survival kind of aspect of stuff. And I really I modded Skyrim on the PC to like require food and water, and I wanted to survive and have a challenge. I started streaming Breath of the Wild Master Mode, so I wanted like a challenge. I wanted a post-apocalyptic environment. I wanted a good story, right? And I felt like this game, from what I was hearing, would scratch a lot of those itches.
Plus, you got that Exodus gameplay they showed at E3. That shit looked
Right.
good.
So I was like,
Look real good.
Maybe I'll get the backstory of all this and be able to hop into the new one. But dude, I went on a tweet storm. You can find my account to get like a lot more detail than what I'm going to try and rehash now. But like, it didn't feel like it was going anywhere or that it was guiding me to the right place. It was just like set piece after set piece of a level. And as I think about it now, the story was there, but the story was like done as your level loaded in this fake like script text as a voice reads it.
Literally
and that
loading
shit to
screen.
me is like fucking Ambien. Dude, I don't give a fuck. I'm not going to read it. I'm just going to
Not in a loading screen. At
no,
that.
no,
That's,
dude. I'm not.
that's the worst place.
That
you could put
imparts
stuff.
no meaning to me. That tells me you don't give a fuck about this. So even when it loads you, like you're done a mission, which I'm never really sure that I finished. Things just kind of fade out, and I just guess I did it, and I'm not dead. And then I'm just back in like the next shanty town because everyone lives in the subway under Russia. And like I read reviews, and the reviews were like everyone's story is so good. You go off the path and you find somebody, and their story is so engaging. And I'm like, no, like nothing told me that I should.
That sounds
listen
like
to
an
this
IGN
guy.
review.
I'm running. Yeah, it probably was. I'm running by this person, and like you just hear a million fucking garbage voices, and like never like pulls you in, right?
Sure.
One time, a little kid caught my attention.
Oh,
and he's
asking
like,
for money.
Yeah, screaming in my face in the weirdest not child voice ever. I'll take you to the place, sir. Like, we had like a British accent. We're in Russia.
Yeah.
I don't know what was happening.
Whatever.
And then like you got to give him a bullet because bullets are your currency.
Yeah.
And then he led me somewhere, and then I ran to the wrong room because I was supposed to go over there. Nothing guided you in a meaningful way. And I get that some games are open in the sense to let you really make a decision and figure out where to go.
Sure.
The problem with Metro is there is one place to go.
Yeah.
And there's no reward for exploring, and it's just there. And you just have to stumble around and literally
Is
bump
this
into
both
walls.
games? Because
or-
the Redux is 2 games, right?
Redux is 2 games. So I played the first one. I played the remaster of
2033.
2033.
Yeah.
So I
So-
just have no desire to even do the next one
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
So
were you feeling retro, like, fatigue? Because it was like
No.
a game you never played before.
no, the controls were great. I mapped the
graphics
control.
were
Yeah.
good and
If anything, they updated it.
Metro,
like in this version of the game.
The first Metro game is like a collection of the worst Call of Duty levels you could play in a
Yeah.
campaign.
That's a really good way to put
Yeah.
it.
Because it's the funnel effect. It's we put you somewhere small and we tell you a little bit of a story, and then we throw you in a big area and you fight a bunch of shit, and then it goes small again and then big and small. The only thing that I liked about Metro is no HUD.
Yeah.
No HUD is the only thing that I
was
liked.
sweet.
It commits to things even like with the gas max too, but like it's so secondary to like stuff you can do with mods in like Skyrim or
Yeah,
Fallout
yeah.
now.
Yeah.
It's like it feels
Well, that's the thing.
dated.
If you're playing it as a survival game, it absolutely does not scratch that itch. If you're playing it as a survival story game, it's kind of weird because you go outside and you have to like manage your air. But again, it's a linear story, so like I'm not going to get caught off the beaten path with no CO2 tank because there is no beaten path. I
Right.
just have to move in
Yeah.
a general direction. And eventually, I'm going to get there.
Yeah.
Last Light spends a little more time above ground, and you can kind of get lost.
Yeah.
It gets weird with aliens too,
It gets
doesn't
it gets well, like
Yeah,
it
well,
gets
there
weird
was-
with like the
There
with
was
like the
supernatural
monsters.
shit
Yeah.
that I was starting to experience too, but that
They
even
never
wasn't-
go into it.
Yeah.
The Metro is based on a book.
That makes me even
And-
madder, dude. Because
yeah.
like that would like if they did that.
There's
right,
like a whole
I would
sequence where you
care
walk
about it.
down a subway tunnel, and
There's, like,
it
a
goes
creature.
like, hey. In the subway tunnel, there are like the souls of the damned in here, and you can't touch them.
Yeah.
If you touch them, like they kill you. So you have to like walk through a crowd of shadows that you can very minimally see. Great concept. They never go anywhere with that.
Yeah.
Like, I'd love to be in a firefight in that thing and have to really think about like where I am. And
They just don't fucking.
It's all like base. Like I said, it's the worst Call of Duty ideas that never get expanded on.
I hit an area where the guy I was with was like, "Stay here. I'm gonna like try to open this gate," and I just was going around like collecting and looting bodies, and then like it snapped into that weird hallway.
Yeah.
And everything's like gray and it's fading, and like my character's sliding back, and I'm like, "That's kind of weird. Am I just watching a cutscene?" Okay, then it snaps back to the room, so I'm like, "Oh, cool. I'm gonna start getting more stuff from the bodies," and then like snaps back to like the corridor, and my character's like sliding back, and I'm just like, nothing's going on. Then like it snaps back a third time, and I die.
Yeah.
Then when the game reloaded and I'm back in the tunnel, I realized I had to walk forward to like get to the end of this tunnel. I'm like,
because if you don't, like, it assumes that there's like a bunch of these shadows behind you that are moving forward.
It just
and then,
so many
there's very minimal
pieces
stuff
that were there that didn't cohere into one
Yeah.
into one thing. I just have no desire to play it again. So I hooked my PlayStation up to the TV I was playing on, and I put Persona 5 back in because I never actually finished it. Dude. And even though it was my number 2 game of the year for 2017, I never actually completed it because it was just so much time. I put 81 hours in, and I was like, at that point, I had to play something else, right?
Yeah.
So now I'm back in, and I'm hopefully gonna power through to the end.
Good.
I used a I hope I used a little exploit with the Reaper to bump myself up literally 16 levels.
Did you go to flu season?
I went to flu season.
God damn it!
Because I'm like, dude, the one part of the casino dungeon, the darkness area, I died 4 times just from like getting ambushed by accident, and then like you're fucked. You're fucked, dude. And like I had to do some backtracking, and I was like, this is just a pain in the ass. Yeah. I didn't want to burn out like the second day I started playing this again. So I'm like, let me just take care of any concern.
If you're not paying attention,
enjoy this game.
You get fucked big time. Persona is the best, in my opinion, the best RPG since The Witcher. But Persona, in my opinion, is also the best foundational RPG I've ever played. Because whereas in other RPGs, they give you support characters that you just use. In Persona, your relationship with your support characters matters.
It does, yeah, because they literally become more powerful.
It literally is a role-playing game.
Yeah.
How the role that you play in the environment you're in 100% matters to whether or not you can beat that game.
Yes.
If I don't expand a relationship with someone, I'm leaving an ability on the table.
That's a really good point, because in a lot of RPGs, you could just like pick a system, game the system, and just play the game. This, you have to exist in the world and choose a way to live and who you're going to hang out with, because that impacts their power and in terms of what they can do to help you and how you can help them.
If you think about certain like adventure games, you would I can do 20 different side missions and then get an item and then just give it to the person.
Yeah.
Whether that person experienced that or was in my party or not is 100% irrelevant. But in Persona, though, if I leave someone, if I take my 3 into a dungeon and I leave someone back, and then I don't connect with them at all, then when I do want to use them because they have a move or an ability, they're not the same. It's all about like pure investment in the people around you and less about you as a character.
Hope you like the Shoji player, because if you don't, that shit gets hard.
God. Yeah, done deal. It's over. It's one of the best pure RPGs. That the Persona series, Shin Megami Tensei in general, one of the best role-playing games
It's great,
ever.
dude. I played 4 on the Vita. That was my first. That was my entry into it.
I can't wait.
That was mine too.
Yeah.
It made me buy 3. And 3 is not nearly as good as 4, but I still play it.
I'm worried about the polish, but I keep thinking about going back to try it out.
The characters are really good.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I've been doing.
Cool.
You
get some news there.
Let's get some news. We don't have our fellow host Neo Aoshi tonight, but he's been kind enough to
compiled,
drop some.
yeah.
He's our news compiler. He's kind of like the guidance.
Didn't we
of,
have? No, we
the
had an
articles.
official title for him. Wasn't he creative director?
Sure.
The
I mean,
compiler?
Yeah. The compiler.
The compiler?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, Chris.
Was it creative director?
No, because that implies a lot of other things. Maybe we
Yeah.
did. I don't know.
I don't know.
It's not whatever.
Plus, the compiler has like a Liam Neeson movie vibe.
It does.
going
It
on.
sounds like
The
like
Passenger.
No, it was
the archive.
the something or
Was it program
The
director?
archives.
I think
All
it
of
was
the
program
arch-
director.
Liam
I don't
Neeson can
remember.
play anything. Okay.
He'd know. He'd know.
Anyway, he linked to an article from Ars Technica, semi-detailing the fact that the PS4 has been cracked to be able to run PS2 games. Now, it's not the current version of PS4 software. It's an older one, I think one that got patched in 2016. But it's essentially like a proof of concept that someone was able to rewrite the code, right, using Linux, and essentially like create a package that makes the console think you've got a classic game installed on that console, and you can totally play it, and it shows up on the on your HUD, the cross media bar. You can choose it. Yeah,
Good.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So maybe if enough people care about this, they can kind of push it and get it supported, because like it's not hard to do apparently, and you can really write it to take.
But I don't think
advantage of
PlayStation
hardware.
doesn't give a shit.
I don't think it ever was a technological problem for them. They could
It's a
probably-
company problem.
Yeah.
No, it's a money making problem. They want to make money on bringing them forward and then paying.
They do.
Yeah.
Charging people.
I
Oh,
think-
you want to put PS2 games on there? Yeah, it's called PlayStation Now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. And
But
then,
I
like,
think
here's the-
people
Which is
are
expensive as shit, by the way.
Yeah,
It is.
it's the
It's
worst.
How much is that?
It's like $60.
It's like
A year?
It's like a $3 to
month?
$6 like price a month, and then if you do like 3 months, it's like $25, and then like a year is like $60. But it's like
That's
the-
$60 on top of the $60 you're paying for online service.
Yeah, and then like the latency is very notable at times, and it is.
If you're not hardlined,
clean.
you're not playing.
Yeah, it's like not that great. I used it for like a free trial period, and I was like not impressed at all.
When they did like the open beta for it, and they had like 9 games on
Exactly.
there. I was like, oh, let me try this out, and it
Yeah.
was.
I tried
was
playing Peace
bad
Walker,
news.
the PS3 redo of it, and I was like, oh god, this is not fun. There's too much.
Nah,
latency.
I
It
just
sounds
boot
like
up
a
my
horrible
PS3,
experience.
bro.
Yeah.
I just boot up my PS3.
So you don't think that consumers, right, banding together to create a demand for something, right, who really are passionate about something, and then now that they know it's technologically possible, you don't think that's going to make enough waves
absolutely
not.
for this kind of
I think PlayStation
feature?
cares. PlayStation
they
doesn't care
don't.
what the United States thinks.
They are making so
Sony
much
doesn't,
money.
They are.
Sony doesn't
Yeah.
care what US fans think.
They are outselling like just Xbox as a whole. Like that's just a fact. Like by like just waves. Like it is the last thing on their radar. Xbox going back, they do their backwards compatibility. Cool. Everybody's super excited. Obviously, it doesn't affect PlayStation anyway because they're still outselling them every single quarter. I mean, Xbox doesn't even release their numbers because they know it's embarrassing compared to what they can do.
Yeah.
Like they'll be like, "Oh, like the Xbox One S was the best-selling remake of a console for like the last 3 days of a month this year."
So
It's
you're
like,
the only one in
The
that
last
category.
remake
Yeah.
of a month.
yeah, it's like
The last
You made
remake
your
of a
category
console.
for
it. It's
That's
incredible.
so good.
because it's just like
Literally
they,
can't be wrong on that.
Yeah, it's
The
just
best-selling remake of a console.
like, they don't have to do this. Like, there's no incentive. It's not
Right,
like Sony's like bad in bed with anybody right now. Like,
Sure.
if anything, like I feel like more people buy third-party games on their PlayStation than they do with Xbox, which is totally a counter to what happened last gen. Where I feel like people did play third-party games and pretty much everything on Xbox as opposed to PS3, but that's because it was optimized better on Xbox.
Yeah.
And now it just doesn't matter because Xbox
Right.
came
Why
out
go
the
out of
gate
their way
poorly.
to work on all
Yeah.
this developmental work when they're fine
Yep.
as it is?
Their messaging has been solid from day one, whereas Xbox has constantly been returning the wheel. And like they got stuff with like, what is it, the Xbox Pass or
Game
whatever?
Pass.
Yeah, like that sounds really dope. Not gonna
alright.
gonna do anything, unfortunately. At
the
this
only
time.
thing it's going to do is Microsoft announced that with Xbox Game Pass, Xbox exclusives will be available day one. So
Yeah.
Sea of Thieves
Sea
will
of
be on there
Thieves,
day one.
Crackdown, whenever the fuck that is.
The issue is not that exclusives are going to be on
availability,
there. It's that you have barely any exclusives.
Yeah.
You're not losing out on anything going, oh man, these 2 exclusives we're releasing this year is going to be on Game Pass because no one cares.
Right.
There's nothing there. The one devil's advocate I'll play with that is if you listen to the financial report for Xbox, the amount of people that spend money on their backwards compatible titles are so minimal that
Really?
financially it makes zero difference. So the devil's advocate argument is that they added it because people lost their minds and they wanted it. The reality is people don't want it because they want to buy it. People want it because they owned it in the past and they
Yeah.
want to get it back.
Think about this too, where it's like, how many fucking people are walking into a GameStop right now when they just bought their Xbox One that's backwards compatible and they're buying a brand new version of Halo Reach? Fucking nobody, Trip. Fucking nobody. They're buying the
I don't
$4
want that shit.
version that some kid owned and played for
Yeah.
a day.
Right,
I'll take
Like,
the $4 off and struggle with Halo 5 Guardians
Yeah.
because it's for my console.
you have a whole fucking store and like just online retailers as well that have pre-owned dirt cheap versions of these games. They're not making anything off of it anymore, like because the games are fucking like 5+ years old at this point. Like there's literally no gain from them outside of a good faith gesture at this point.
And the PC market is the only market that is okay with games being ages old and then buying them because they've been doing it for years.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden you want to introduce this to console players, and the reality is console players don't know what they want. They just know that when something's not when there's a wall blocking them from point A to point B, there's an issue.
That's a problem.
Once they get past the wall, they're not going to use it. They're just there.
Yeah.
You know, no one's going to go out and buy these old games.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if I bought any
It's very minimal.
Yeah.
backward
The only
compatible
backwards
versions of the
compatible
game.
game that I bought in the last 6 months was last week. I bought Persona 4 Arena, the fighting game, because
yeah.
Dragon Ball Fighters was coming out. If Dragon Ball Fighters wasn't coming out, I wouldn't have bought that game.
For sure.
I looked for one. I looked for Assassin's Creed Rogue, and it wasn't available yet.
But
Well, now you don't have to worry about it because Rogue is,
Yeah, it's
is
coming to
is
PS4
coming
and
to
Xbox
PS4
One.
Yeah, I
and
know.
Xbox One. So.
I'll buy it again. That was an incredible game.
Sony can come out tomorrow and say, hey, guess what? PS2 Classic, it's a thing. Get ready. Get hype. They're coming out. You know what I'm doing? I'm going on fucking eBay and I'm buying some mass copy of some dude that lives in Oregon.
Right,
He's
right.
like, these were in the basement for 10 years.
Yeah,
Oh,
buy his whole bin.
Somebody
Yeah.
please buy
Yeah.
Ratchet and
$50
Clank
get
1.
Wait, why does the dude from Oregon have like a real thick
Because
accent?
Oregon's fucking weird.
Is that
You
what
get everything from Oregon.
Yeah, they have that on a building.
Do they?
Yeah, in Portland it says Portland Weird or something.
That's cute.
Weird Portland Weird.
The
Portland
only
Weird.
place of Oregon that is actually okay with being weird. Everything outside of Portland is like, fuck anything weird.
Yeah.
You straight lace.
Oh yeah,
Straight
yeah,
lace
yeah.
is the only way
yeah,
it's going to
yeah,
be.
yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, it's I don't know.
Not that big of a-
I think people
an impact.
want it until they get it, and then they don't care.
True
Sure.
that.
Yeah. I was thinking from the perspective that it's nice to have it all on one console.
Oh,
But then-
absolutely.
But then
Yeah, it's called
your,
PC.
Your points, right? It's making me sit here and realize that when am I ever gonna fucking plug in my PS2?
When the fuck are you going to play
When?
Bully on PS2 on your PS4?
Bro, you can play that on iOS. Why are you?
That's a great point.
That's
My Xbox 360 I have plugged into Stream and
Yeah.
Stream Ready because of a title that
The
I
Xbox is on. It knows we're talking about it.
yeah.
Put it in.
But there's one title that actually isn't backward compatible that I want to play on stream. It's the Saboteur. Did you ever play that game?
Stop talking about the Saboteur.
I'm gonna keep bringing it up.
Has he been? I missed this.
He will not give up
That's
the
like-
Saboteur.
I love the Saboteur.
Who the fuck is playing the Saboteur in 2018?
This guy.
Love the.
Did you ever play it?
Saboteur.
I don't even know what that is, dude. What is the Saboteur?
Oh fuck you! You guys you're not paying attention.
What's-
You've been on the show for years. I've mentioned it. I don't know how many times.
Yo.
Oh yeah.
We're not talking
Oh,
about
my
the Saboteur.
Do you
God.
remember it? Diamondjab.
Yes, I remember it.
Did
It's
you
in
like
the same vein as other shitty third-person stealth games like Velvet Assassin.
No, at the time it was competing with. It's old. It came out in
Yes, it was
2009.
competing-
Yes,
I thought you don't. I thought you don't.
What
retro
was it
game.
competing with?
I thought you don't retro game.
Felix,
No, this is a game I played.
Felix, what
then.
was the Saboteur competing
Yeah, what was
with?
it? What was,
Assassin's Creed?
no, it wasn't. That's a lie.
What?
Yeah, it was.
Bruh.
What? It wasn't.
Competing is not the word I'd use.
It
So
existed
Assassin's Creed
It was
alongside
it was in a vegetative state against Assassin's Creed. It was
So it was.
That's
Oh
like
my
Lucky Charms
God.
going against fucking cereal that doesn't even have a box. It's in a bag.
It's the
Shit
bag.
is-
You get
It's
the
shit is in a
on the
bag.
first shelf.
Yeah.
but you guys never
and
played.
it's just the wheat pieces.
You guys never played it.
You've got to buy the marshmallows separately. And you
DLC
can mix
pack.
them
There you
exactly. Exactly.
I love.
Leprechaun's luck.
Oh man,
We're all
No,
making-
that's fine.
we're all making
we
fun
all
of
love
Felix.
shitty games. We all love
Oh my
shitty
God.
games.
But it wasn't shitty. It was good. I enjoyed it.
God.
Anyway, it was made by Pandemic. They're the studio.
no,
the
it's fine.
Defunct studio that made.
Dude,
wasn't that was Knights of the Old Republic? One or two? I don't know.
probably
which one.
two.
I don't remember which one it made.
Side note: one of my favorite 360 games that's awful. Too Human.
Oh my God.
I don't think I ever
It was
played that.
supposed to get a series. It was
It
like
was.
this cool, like
It was like Norse mythology, but in like a futuristic time frame.
slashy.
It was done by I can't remember the company's name. They also did that X-Men Destiny game. But they got in trouble because they used Epic's Unreal Engine, but didn't put the logo at the front of the
Not
game.
NetherRealm, right?
And they no. But
Too Human?
Too Human.
Yeah.
That's what it's called. It's a real unique gameplay dynamic. like game. The development got cut short, and then they didn't put the Unreal Engine as a logo in the beginning of the game, and Epic sued them, and then they got shut down.
Yeah, it was supposed to be
Epic was like, fuck this.
It was supposed to be like a trilogy and everything.
Yeah, it was so cool, and then they never did it again because they couldn't afford to.
Yep.
Did Max Payne 3 go backward?
I imagine.
I like that game.
I don't know. Max Payne 3 is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have that for the 360. I'm thinking about streaming that.
It's a dope game. The Saboteur.
The
I'm
Saboteur.
sorry for derailing.
Are you going to join my Saboteur stream when I do it?
Sure.
Come on in.
I might do it while I'm playing Assassin's Creed just to do a compare and contrast.
Going up against Assassin's Creed, toe to toe.
I'm going to come back to the show like, guys, I have official analysis. I was 100% right.
No, we do a multi-stream.
I recant nothing.
We'll do a multi-stream. I'll play
can see 'em
Assassin's
both
Creed.
at the
You'll
same
play the
time.
Saboteurs, and we'll
Yeah.
start it at the same time.
See the competition. Jesus Christ.
It'd be tight. It'd be real tight.
You guys peep that God of War info? We got a sweet launch trailer
buddy.
and a launch date.
Yeah.
Faux 20.
Bro, that's a day before
Blaze
my
it
birthday,
up.
and I will be high as fuck
Yep.
playing that game.
Yep.
You're a big God of War fan?
I'm a huge God of War fan.
That sounds awful. Are you kidding me? Like getting high and having to listen to some kid yell at me, going like, "Go here, go there."
So yeah, shut the fuck up. Diamondjab, you can't.
Kratos Rage.
Yeah,
It makes sense.
Don't get high
I
enough, or at least like time it so that the tutorial's over by the time like you hits. You know, like
I'm
when
gonna.
you're really in that
I'm
zone,
probably
which you
gonna.
like.
I'm probably gonna blaze up when I hit the first open area.
Yes.
As soon as I hit the first open area, and they're like, "Yeah, you can go off the beaten path." I'm like, "Word." No, I'm just kidding.
I'm excited
I
for
won't.
God of War.
Yes.
I'm very
Yes, I'm
excited.
very excited.
I have no plans to play it right now, honestly. But like, I'll watch it. I'll hear what you guys have to think about it. I haven't played the other one, so I have no investment in the series. And honestly, when I saw like all that information coming out about God of War, Days Gone, The Last of Us 2, they all look like we were talking about this, the same general game with different skins on it, in my opinion. Probably gonna be wrong. You know, at the end of the day, they're all gonna be able to stand alone. But as of right now, I don't have any desire to hop in. I have a lot of plans for other things that I'm gonna be taking up. So
No, admittedly, I am a little concerned because I felt this feeling before with a PlayStation exclusive title, and I was severely disappointed with The Order. And
Yeah, I played
I'm
that piece
feeling,
of shit.
I'm feeling some similar feelings. Which
Well, I
is,
think-
no, not in.
The Order was like a 4-hour movie
It was. Now I don't think this is going
that
to be that.
ended poorly.
I mean, you've got history behind this IP. So I'm sorry. So it's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
like you know as stabby in the dark but they
I
are
th-
changing
I
up a
think
lot of the formula.
The more history you have, the easier it is to really fall off the wayside.
I think that they can depart, like they're departing from it so much that they are just really trying to give such a fresh start to it that like I honestly feel like the biggest thing this game has going against it is what it's trying to do with gameplay. I think Neo or maybe it was Locke. Somebody brought up that the gameplay looks like it plays like Hellblade, and like it kind of really does when you
really
watch
does.
it being played, but like a little bit more complex, obviously. Like God of War 1, 2, 3, the PSP games, like those were all games that technically play like they're like crazy action games that emphasize like the combos, like Devil May Cry and Bayonetta, and I like those games a lot. I played all the God of Wars. I think they're super fun. Like nothing super long lasting as far as like an impression. Like God of War 3, like was
Oh, buddy.
No, but you get
Like,
to you get to
what?
take down some
Wild.
like huge gods. and
God
feel
of War
like a-
3
feel like
is a
boss.
game that in my I will never forget.
no, totally. I'm not.
Oh, okay,
I'm
okay,
not saying
okay,
it's like
okay,
a bad game. It's just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
when I think about it, it's just like I was late to the God of War train, and when 3 was coming out, I was like, I'm gonna go back and play them now, and I did, and I really enjoyed them. 3 came out, and I was like, holy shit! You're like cutting off Hermes' legs and like tearing off Apollo's head.
3
Like,
was the
crazy
first game
pretty
that
wild.
was like,
Literally.
aside from Call of Duty's No Russia scene,
Yeah.
God of War 3 was the first game to go. You're about to do some. You're about to
Yeah.
do some crazy shit.
Like-
do you want to go through this like raw, uncut, or do you want it to be like super clean?
Yeah,
And I was like,
Like-
what do I want?
the final.
It's so funny.
Yeah, like
Oh, it asked you that in the beginning of the game.
No, it asks you right before something happens.
Yeah.
So right before an event happens, so there's a fight scene with Apollo, the sun god, and you chase him around in this chariot, and you throw him on the ground, and he goes, he has this ability where like opens his mouth and his eyes, and it's like solar flare from
yeah,
Dragon
it's
Ball.
it's annoying. Yeah,
And Kratos kicks him in the face, shoves his head in the ground, and then proceeds to rip his head
in a QTE
off his body in a QTE, and if you do the unedited version, it like cuts away where you don't see anything. If you leave it on, these dudes went through the detail watching the skin like
tear
rip.
apart.
Oh,
yeah. And then literally after that, Apollo's head is an item in your inventory, and you're
That
taking
you
his severed head out
use
in
to,
the
like,
game.
hit people with like a solar flash and stun enemies.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like Clash of the Titans, the movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
God of War
But
3 is
play
insane.
it. It's
Damn, that's
if
metal
you've
as
never
fuck, dude.
played God of War 3,
Yeah.
it is a roller coaster ride of utter ridiculousness.
It's 100% not backward compatible.
See, that's
No,
a game
it's
I would
not.
play.
Oh wait, no,
I
it's
have-
on PS4. They
remastered it for
Oh, did they?
PlayStation 4, and it's like $20. It's super
It's
cheap.
That's
All
a game
revenge.
I would play.
If you've never played it,
Oh my fucking
you
God,
have
it's
to
so
play
good.
it.
Yeah, I have it up there. I never.
You have to play it, dude.
But-
It's- anyway,
That's the thing, is like it looks like such a departure from what that is. Like these
Yeah.
crazy insane kills where like you're fucking cutting someone's legs off to take their item and stuff. It doesn't look like that. And part of me is excited about that because it looks like a different God of War. It's not just Kratos being fueled up on anger. Like it seems like he's more reserved. I think that the kid is going to be this kind of dynamic of humanity for him. And I'm excited to see what that looks like for a character like Kratos, who's by all means super one-dimensional. But I think that the bigger problem here is just like such a departure from what we know of with God of War and like what it's trying to do now. I mean, but the same could be say like just to play off of that. I guess I could have thought the same when Metal Gear Solid changed completely from what we're used to, going from 1, 2, 3, 4 into what 5 is. A completely different type of experience for that game that worked incredibly. And we'll have to see if
Yeah.
God of War does that. I mean,
but is it a departure though?
yeah, totally. It went open
it
world.
looks like it's
No,
open world
from
too,
the
right?
franchise, yes,
Oh,
but
okay, yeah.
from the company and like, is it a departure? So the one thing I brought up is I'm afraid of this game. So you mentioned, I'm okay with the reserved Kratos, right? He is not the raging kind of enemy he was, right? And a lot of people didn't like that character in God of
He's
War
an old.
3.
He's an old dude.
Well, he's an old dude. But do I want a Kratos and Atreyu version of Joel and Ellie? Do I want that in a God of War game?
That's the vibe I got. Dude.
That's-
But that's
That's
what
what
I'm
he's
saying.
saying.
I don't
So
think you do.
if I'm
I could be wrong, though.
If I'm sticking to my guns of the same statement I made the last time I was here, which was I'm a little worried that Days Gone is going to get cannibalized by The Last of Us because of the zombie setting, I have to also stick to my guns and go, this is like God of War The Last of Us, which most people would think is a bad thing, but you also don't get points if you're recreating the same experience.
Yeah.
So I am a little worried that like I'm gonna play this and go, man, this was amazing, and then I'm gonna play The Last of Us 2, and it's gonna feel like the same thing. And that's a very niche problem to have.
It's why
90%
I
of
don't-
people would disagree with me and go, it's nothing to be bothered by. But when you play as many games as I do, they mesh together. When you
Yeah.
review as many games as I do, as soon as I play something that is eerily the same, you lose creativity points, even if it is the most creative experience out there. So I am a little like, I do kind of wish if I play this game, I do kind of want Kratos to go on like a raging rampage scene, because that's what makes him unique.
We have
that's
no
my-
idea.
There's no
right
story in that. And that was
Do
the
we
issue with
have?
3.
We don't have confirmation that aspect of the game isn't going to be there.
No, but that was the perception if you watch the trailer.
Right.
The story trailer says that Kratos and Atreus are traveling to the top of a mountain to like put his mother's ashes there. Right. So all I know is this is going to be an adventure where I have a young kid and an older guy in which they're having this like deep interactive conversation as they travel through this majestic and beautiful world.
Even like this open world forest, it's like I'm like waiting for Aloy to pop out, maybe. like I like it's all the same. Like
it's
like the look.
so weird that like Sony is doing amazing things and they can blow this year out of the water, but Spider-Man, which I'm eerily familiar with, is the most unique thing I've seen from Sony like coming out this year, and it's based on something else already. But it's another genre.
Trip, you start to wonder, like, did they just repopulate the assets?
Right.
Bruh.
Right.
You know, is that the forest? Am I going to
Command-C,
find a forest?
File save as this.
Am I going to find
Right.
Go ahead.
the same exact forest that I saw, in that scene in The Last of Us where you're walking from the city to the one town? That forest part, I'm going to see that.
Having great
Like,
games
this
feel
looks a little
familiar
familiar.
is
like the dude from Days Gone is there hanging, and it's like, it's all hop on my robot
Dude,
dinosaur. We'll get right
this
away
is
from
a
this
great
garbage.
problem to have if you're Sony, though, because people
is.
want these
And
games.
the thing is,
and
all
it's
of
not a
these
bad
titles are probably going to be incredible experiences.
Absolutely.
Well written, well played. The systems are going to be
Like
in
if
there.
you had
The
never
graphics are gonna be
experienced any of
incredible.
them and had a choice to experience, go through this door, go through that door,
Yeah.
and then that's your only experience with that style of game, you'd probably walk out and go, "Whoa, this is."
That's the
fucking
thing. That's why
best
you'll
game I've ever
never
played.
you'll never see another Uncharted with Nathan Drake, because the next step in that phase is Nathan Drake walking around with someone younger going through an
Yeah.
adventure.
Yeah.
And it's just going to be the same. I
shit, I
played
got a
it in
kid.
God of War.
Yeah.
I played it in The Last of Us. It's the same thing.
No, you did play it. That's where it started. That's where it started because who was his person?
Yeah, you had
Sully.
Sully and,
You just
and,
played
and
the- you
Drake.
played the little
You were
kid.
literally
Sully and
playing
Drake.
the same
Felix.
thing over and over again.
Oh my God, Felix, you connected all the dots.
Holy shit.
Pepe Sylvia.
No, I just played.
Yeah.
No, hold on. I just played all 4 of the Uncharted's on Crushing,
yeah.
and I got to the
Did
point.
you?
I got to the point where.
Oh, you went through all 4?
Yeah, he went
Yeah,
through
I got
all
to
four.
the point where I started nicknaming the girl. I don't even remember the girl's name because I named her after my ex-girlfriend.
I told you to call
Who
her Heather.
You did that
Yeah.
in stream?
Yeah.
Good job.
You were like, I can't remember
What's
what's
the
her fucking
blonde's
name? And I
name?
was like, her name's Heather.
I kept calling her Heather. Named her for my ex-girlfriend. and,
Elena.
and I would
It's
rage.
Elena.
Elena,
Elena
yeah,
Fisher.
it's Elena. But I kept going, Heather, fucking Heather. What the fuck is wrong with you, Heather? I was so pissed off, dude. She kept getting in my way.
Heather, I need some
And
ammo.
that became she's being such a Heather when somebody would
She's
get in
being
your way. So we created our own meme with that.
Yeah.
She's being such
Yeah.
a Heather. But
Such
yeah,
a
so
Heather.
that's deep down. That's a part of my worry is I feel like
Every one of these
I'm
games
just
is going to have a
playing
Heather.
the same thing over
Yeah,
and over
also
in
that.
like a different setting. It's
Yeah,
like
you-
it's
you
like
get-
it's
when
like
you're playing
Madden.
God of War, you're gonna
Madden
think of
is the
Heather.
same game whether I play in New England or whether I play in LA.
Right.
They're like, oh, we have super detailed stadiums.
Yeah.
Looks exactly the same.
Oh, do I have
It's
to throw the
same
football
fucking
10
game.
yards? Okay.
Guess what? It's the same
Yeah.
thing.
We've added new physics to all the people. In
I
the
sound
crowds.
like a
This guy's
hater, and I'm
throwing
sorry,
up.
but
We're not
it's
hating.
just
None
like
of us are hating. I
God of
pre-ordered all
War
of
is going to
them.
be amazing. I'm going to play it. I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10, and I'm going to
Played
complain about it the
shit
whole
F
time.
out of it. Did you guys see that news about a possible Duke Nukem movie with John Cena?
No. Stop. That sounds good.
Doesn't
Yeah,
it?
that's literally all the rumors we have right now.
John Cena as Duke Nukem.
I mean, that
He just needs to have
We
the
don't have to talk
catchphrases.
about this too much, but it's a video game movie, so it's just automatically going to be garbage.
Well, how do we feel about that? How do we feel?
baby?
Isn't there one
This is the
coming
year.
out soon?
Yeah, the year of Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider's in
Gives a
April.
shit.
Tomb Raider. Yeah.
Every video
that?
game movie that comes out it's got so much
trash.
weight added to it because everyone's going to go, is this the first game movie that's not going to be fucking terrible?
It's going to be terrible.
It could be great, but I saw that trailer for Tomb Raider and I went, "Oh man, I played this already.
Piece of shit. I
I played this shit already."
Yeah.
She was like on the ship and she fell
Yeah,
off
it
the edge and
looks
she's like
identical.
surviving.
No,
and
when
I'm
the-
like,
when the- it's funny.
Oh, I mashed
it's-
X and I survived on that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Are you gonna give me a controller so I could do it like I might bring my own PlayStation controller and just sit in the ground and just act like I'm playing it.
I was
That's the
actually
future of movies, though.
That's the future. Yeah.
I was playing Tomb Raider 2, the Rise of the Tomb Raider, when the trailer came out, and I played it live on my thing, and we watched it, and I went, my God, did they just name the villain from Rise of the Tomb Raider?
They did.
In a game that looks like the first Tomb Raider? I'm like, it
They've
sounds like
smashed the two games
they're
together.
doing an amalgam. Yeah, totally.
I can't wait for when that movie actually comes out. I'm gonna find somebody that watches it, and they're gonna be like, "Hey, did you see the new Tomb Raider movie?" I'm gonna fucking be like, "Yeah, I did. Thought it was so cool that part at the end where she took out both guns and how they did that. Yeah, that was awesome, right?" No, I didn't watch the fucking movie. I
watched
just
it.
played
It's
the
the
game. That's
game.
exactly what fucking happened.
So side note, back to Duke Nukem.
Yeah,
I am
yeah.
an unapologetic lover of Duke Nukem Forever.
I've never played any of those games.
Duke Nukem Forever is fucking atrocious.
Is
it's such a bad game, but it's the game is hilarious.
Just
It's
fun.
so
Just fun,
funny.
silly
Don't
fun.
you start that game in front of a urinal?
So you start the game in front of the urinal. There's a scene where you walk outside of a casino because Vegas is getting attacked by aliens, and you walk up to this ambulance and you open it up, and Master Chief's armor is in there, and he goes, "Power armor's for pussies." It's so funny. Every single instance in that is just fucking hilarious.
So if they
But the
were-
game is awful.
If they were going to do the movie and have the same level of cheese stick shit, like would they have to do like John Cena like never speaking and totally an inner monologue the whole time?
No way. If anything, he's looking
does
at
he
he's
speak?
breaking the fourth
He's
wall.
breaking the
whole
fourth
time.
wall. It's very Deadpool.
I was about to say, it's
turns to
inspired by
the
Deadpool.
camera.
Very
yeah.
Deadpool-esque.
Deadpool probably enabled this conversation to start because they go, oh, they
Yeah.
like this kind of thing.
Yeah,
So
wow.
But it's got to be written really well. Like,
I mean, he definitely has to look.
There's no
right?
way
It's so easy to fuck
you
up.
can't do.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could.
What
really
style
fuck
of
up
game
this movie.
was Duke Nukem Forever?
Duke Nukem Forever was a first-person shooter.
First
they made
person.
it like so their whole gimmick was they wanted to make fun of
Other
Call of
shooters.
Duty.
Yeah.
Primarily because in Call of Duty, when the previous Call of Duty came out, it was still when you could only carry like 2 guns.
yeah.
So they were like carrying 2 guns, like that's a shitty call, and like having to sit down somewhere and wait for your health to regen. They had like health packs. Like it was meant to be old school style gaming. The problem was the game was just awful.
Yeah.
It was just an awful game, but the writing was so funny. The first hour of that game is drop dead hilarious.
The movie could be that too. That had to
I don't
be the
trust
angle.
John Cena though.
No?
No, not to be Duke Nukem. I haven't seen it. I trust him as doing certain things, but Duke Nukem is very specific.
Who would you pick?
I don't know if there's anybody I could pick to play Duke Nukem because Duke Nukem is more about the voice than it is about the person.
Yeah.
It is more about the voice.
Did anybody watch the Jumanji remake?
No, I hear really good things.
No,
though.
but I heard surprisingly good things.
Same.
I had very low expectations for that.
I had no desire.
Apparently, it was hilarious.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out at some
Apparently.
point. I didn't watch it.
The one thing that I'll say about like the voice and how it matters, it's one of the reasons I do not like the Phantom Pain. You mentioned the Phantom Pain earlier,
Yeah.
because David Hayter is not the voice of Snake, and it just doesn't.
When I get to that,
It
it's
just
going to
doesn't
take me
fucking-
out of it so
yeah.
much.
I played Ground Zeroes, and I was like, it just didn't connect the way I wanted it to.
Yeah.
And I was just like, nah, I don't know if I can go through a whole game
I-
because it's so good.
I can't say it because like there's shit that happens in the story that for me totally justifies why they do it.
You're 100% right.
But, like,
it's getting to that point.
Yeah,
It's
you're
the
right.
experience along the
It
way.
is a point in the game that like probably 1% of the people that play it will get to, and when
That
you
love
see
it.
it happen, your mind will be fucking blown.
Yeah.
But for everybody else, they're just like, oh yeah, it's just that's not the Snake I know, and it's like you don't fucking understand. You just don't get
You
it.
just don't get it. They're just
I
there are
wanna-
certain
I
characters
wanna
where
get
the
it,
voice
guys.
is synonymous.
You love
with it.
Metal Gear
I do.
Trip, and I wish you could experience what I'm talking about because your mind will literally fucking just implode. Like
No.
it is.
I'm gonna get
that
to it.
level
So
of
we are
insanity.
very different in this situation.
Yeah. Totally.
You-
you never played it.
despise Metal Gear Solid 5
fucking love it.
for what it is.
So good.
What about the series? I haven't played 5. What about the series as a whole? Like, are you? a fan
No,
of it?
Metal Gear Solid 4 is one of my favorite games
Incredible.
ever. Now, Metal Gear Solid 4
Agree.
also has a 22-minute cutscene in the middle, so I'm used to a very specific style
Best
of Metal
microwave
Gear.
in a game.
Yeah.
Hands down.
Dude, that game. Like, I bought that was my PS3. Was the
Yeah.
bundle?
Yep. Absolutely. One of the
good.
best games I've
So
ever
good.
played. And then I played Metal Gear Solid 5, and every mission I beat, I had to sit through credits. And I went, I'm done.
Hit
That
skip
that alone.
I could skip. It's there. Every time I start a mission, it's like directed by Hideo Kojima.
Yeah, but
That's
how
so-
did
that's
find it?
so-
What is going
that's
on?
so
Psycho.
Kojima. Yeah.
I know.
I know you
Now?
know, but like, yeah, dude.
You mean wait?
Not for every mission. though.
Wait a minute. Wait.
So every
Like
mission
I'm playing
is
Grand
like
Theft
an
Auto.
episode.
I'm playing Grand Theft Auto 5, and every time I start a mission, they roll.
So
credits.
think about it this way. Exactly. Imagine if you were playing Grand Theft Auto 5 and when you start a
Brought to you
mission,
by
it said
Rockstar.
produced by Leslie Benzie, like it was a TV show.
Yeah.
But it's not a TV show. It's not even presented like a
It's
TV
open-
show.
it's
I
open
could
world.
kind of
just-
get behind it.
It's just
I could kind of get behind it.
That sounds kind of.
I have to see it. I'll see it, and I'll
the-
report
look,
back how I
it's-
feel.
It's just
when I play it.
The game is beautiful. It plays really well. It's the delivery I can't do. It's the delivery, the episodic delivery. It's like
feel
70 episodes of Telltale. That's why they only give you 5. Because I can't sit through the credits for
Yeah.
70 episodes.
Right. I feel that. Well, I mean, I'll let you guys know once I hit it because I will.
There you
I
go.
plan on it this
You
year.
can
at some
skip though, right?
You can
Yes.
skip,
Okay.
yes.
I'm
It's
gonna-
just
I'm going to skip.
His defense is that it's there.
it's
Like,
just
it's something there to experience,
every
so
single
it's weird.
time. The first couple times
Different
I was like,
at all?
No.
no, it's the same way. You beat the mission. There's credits at the end, like the TV show's over. All I did was extract some dude with no value. Like it's apparently it's worthy of credits.
How is that not fucking great though? That people are in a board meeting and they're just like, and the creator of the game is like, at the end of every mission, we're gonna have the same credits roll, and people are just like, they George Lucas him. They're like,
Look,
yeah, we got to do it.
I am vehemently of the mindset that Metal Gear Solid 5 is less Kojima and more Konami. Metal Gear Solid 5 does not feel like the game Kojima wanted to make. Feels like the game that Kojima was forced to make, given what I learned from the report, but it doesn't feel like it's the one he wanted to make.
Remember it coming out and the story that's being developed. So
we'll get down a huge rabbit hole with this.
Totally.
But that's every time I try to play it. My little brother's beaten that game twice. He loves it. And people who love that game, I 100% understand why. But I'm such a Metal Gear Solid 4 fan that I just could not get over the delivery of it. I just couldn't.
I hear you.
Metal Gear Solid 2, baby.
What was even worse, the beginning of that game makes you think it's like Metal Gear Solid 4.
It
the first
pulls
2
the
hours
total
are
fake out,
so linear.
Oh man.
And then they
You go
just
ground
they go
zeros into the first 30 minutes, and it's like, cool.
the first 30 minutes
And
are
then it
so
changes.
Metal Gear Solid 4.
Completely
I was
changes.
so excited.
I'm still
Oh,
cool.
brood. And oh.
All right,
This rabbit hole,
I'll
it's
I'll
getting
play
sucked
it.
in.
I'll play it, and then
Let me know
we'll
what
chat
you
about it.
think.
We'll
Let me
chat
know
about
what
it
you
for sure.
I already
Guys,
bought it. It's up there.
I see it.
You're playing that
Steve-
after
Steve-
Saboteur?
steamrolling-
Come on, man.
No,
God damn it, Felix.
I didn't say that.
You just say you're playing Saboteur next.
No, next is after the 4 fucking or 5 fucking games I'm playing now.
Is one of them Metal Gear?
No.
Then this.
Then Saboteur. No.
Then Saboteur. Sorry.
I haven't-
Hey guys, I bought a Wawa sandwich once.
Did I do that? I did that?
Probably.
That's the equivalent of what you did in my mind. I bought that.
I bought that.
I did a thing.
I did the thing.
I bought it.
Did I tell you I renewed my Xbox Live lately?
Good.
I couldn't hear my friend on Destiny, so I bought I re-upped the
I
PlayStation Plus.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to celebrate
go.
Christmas this year, guys.
That's a really good decision. I think that's
yeah.
probably going to work out for you and the people that you know.
Just really
Is that new for
relevant,
you? No.
relevant but not impactful statements.
Yes.
That's what they are.
Felix is shaking his head.
That's meta and also non-impactful. Let's end with this story that literally dropped today.
The Anthem story?
The Anthem story, yeah. Jason Schreier popped this up on Kotaku.
We picked the perfect person to have on our show to talk about EA.
And this got echoed everywhere. The TLDR is that they're estimating, according to his sources, estimating this time next year, 2019-ish.
I haven't seen this, by the
They
way,
pulled most of their staff. BioWare, Edmonton, and Austin are now all on Anthem.
Wow.
To try to get it done. There are still small teams maintaining Star Wars: The Old Republic and the next Dragon Age, which is being rebooted. So that's apparently
All
like
right,
a
I
thing
guess
that's
that's
still
coming
happening.
out.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah, keep going.
That's it for like the points of the story, like the important
Right.
hits of like the developmental cycles. The rest just kind of goes into a lot, way in depth about the current vibe of the company. There's a lot of fear from people that work for BioWare about EA's influence and the current trend with microtransactions, where that's going to go. The rumors are that it's only cosmetic, but who knows? Like there's a whole year of development time. The general vibe also is that they're going to hit the new target. Like they went from this game is never coming out to this is hard work, but we're nearly there with a year to go. I checked the website today for Anthem. AnthemTheGame.com still says fall 2018. So that's pretty funny. But it's a great article. I definitely recommend you guys check it out listening. But what do we think?
I don't know about you guys, but I can't wait for PlayerUnknown's Dragon Age. It's going to be awesome.
The unspoken agreement.
Can I
fly
ask
down on a
Can I ask
dragon.
Diamondjab a quick question? Did you play Dragon Age Inquisition?
I did.
Did you enjoy it?
I did.
Okay, I was just wondering.
A
Sorry.
lot.
It's okay.
I beat it like 3 times on
Whoa.
3 different platforms.
Yeah, because I heard it has a lot of
Games.
replay value.
Oh my god.
I like the end game of that game a lot. Like when you actually are high enough level to actually start killing dragons.
I played it on Xbox 360, which was a regret because then I played it on Xbox One. It was
Can
fantastic.
I ask, who did you have relations with?
Most of the
Oh,
time.
you can fuck in that?
Yeah. Are you kidding me? You get down and dirty in Dragon Age.
I can't wait.
You're going to be all about the Iron Bull. I already know.
I bought it.
Ironically,
Okay.
it was
I'm still getting around.
most of the time it was Cassandra.
Damn.
Most of the time it was
I
Cassandra.
fucked the diplomat.
Oh yeah.
She was cool.
When you
Yeah,
say
I
most of
will-
the time, is it because
Is this
there are
a
multiple
choice? Can I
playthroughs?
fuck 'em
so
both?
you can
Yeah,
fuck
I was
whoever you
always
want.
I wanna fuck
attracted
'em
to her
all.
character.
I was asking. I was like, I wonder if it was like a thing where you just went over and hit it on the reg during the game. You're like, I got no
apparently
dragons. There
in
are no
Persona
dragons
you
here.
can romance every character. And
Oh,
then
yeah, you
I
can.
didn't know you could
You
do
can.
that. Someone told
And
me
then
that
Valentine's
yesterday.
Day gets real awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, you can't progress in the game until you make it right with everyone. And I'm like, nah, I'm all right.
Yeah, I skipped that as well.
Don't save. But no, I played Dragon Age a lot.
Yeah, I was just wondering.
But yeah, this is I don't know, man. EA's kind of on a
Raise your hand if you're surprised by this.
Oh, I'm not surprised. I'm surprised in the opposite way. I'm surprised that development is going as well as it is, and that a year is all they're targeting with confidence.
Does more people involved mean it's going well? It sounds like they're
I
trying
don't
to.
know.
That sounds like they're trying to pump
trying
this
to
shit
get
out
it done.
big time.
Yeah.
But apparently they're okay with delaying Dragon Age, which all right, whatever. Whatever the other game is.
I think the rest of the article kind of hinted that the Star Wars Old Republic, that's going to kind of get fallen off.
Skeleton team,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah.
The probably my biggest surprise was BioWare's vocal fear of EA. This would be the first company that publicly has been like, we're fucking petrified at what EA is doing. Other
They just don't
companies
know.
might
There's
have done it in
there's
the
question
background.
marks.
Yeah,
That's what-
this
that's
is
what
the
they're
first
feeling.
time I think it's
Yeah.
gone public before a studio's shut down. And you can't shut down BioWare. You can't. They're way too big to shut them down. So
Right.
like for it to go public, I think is a bigger deal than I think people would expect.
What went public? BioWare said.
BioWare's fear that
Yeah, just
hey,
like their
we're
general,
actually
like-
afraid at the direction that EA has taken in a lot of games. That's what I assume
Yeah,
what was
yeah,
said
yeah.
in there. Yeah, I haven't read the report.
They're just
so I don't know.
they're unsure and they don't know, because public perception is going to affect a lot of this, and EA has been pretty clear, at least in their initial decisions with the games they've been behind on where they lie in terms of making money. Neo linked to another article about the Destiny 2 kind of perception, but from an investor's point
From
of
the
view,
marketplace.
Yeah,
It's
a
really
dude
bad.
that just really works for like a financial investing firm was like, this game is in a terrible place and its player base knows that, and the company's doing a terrible job of communicating. So maybe don't invest in them.
And that's a huge deal. I mean, not that Activision would rethink about it, but Activision's got to be like lurking in the background the way Activision does with a lot of stuff.
Yes.
They
Yeah.
got to just be hanging around there, just looking at what Bungie's doing, because everything they do is wrong.
It's fucking Mr.
No
Claw
matter
in the
what
chair,
they
watching
do,
all the screens gadgets.
80% of their player base does not like. If you read that the update that Chris Barrett put out, when you get done reading it, you go, awesome, they're giving me Destiny 1, pretty much. They're reverting all the way back to Destiny 1 just to please people.
Yeah.
In the state of the game.
Which is terrible, because like you should be able to move forward
Own
your game
your
ahead
shit.
with
Yeah.
confidence.
Yeah, and they
and
can't
solve
because
problems.
everything they do
Yeah.
is the confidence level's atrocious. But for the Anthem thing, like if it's gonna take you a year, it's whatever. I'm not. I wasn't. I didn't think
Let
it
me
was
read you
coming.
this quote here. To BioWare staff, the stakes feel higher than they ever have. As one developer told me, there's a belief that if Anthem doesn't live up to EA's expectations, BioWare will look very different in the future, especially after the disappointment of Mass Effect Andromeda led to EA absorbing BioWare Montreal into the studio EA motive.
Yeah, I mean that's what happened.
Yeah.
But I mean, maybe I'm naive in the way things work, but I don't know. Like, I would love to know, and I wish Jason Schreier would have asked the question, what happened first? Did BioWare say they wanted to make a Mass Effect game, or did EA tell them they wanted a Mass Effect game? Because if BioWare said, we want to make a Mass Effect game, then you fucked up because you put a skeleton team on it. And they said it from the get-go. They were like, the team that gave you Mass Effect 3's Omega DLC is working on Andromeda. That's like 30 people.
That was from the beginning.
Yeah,
They said
that's
that,
like 30 people. So you fucked up from the get-go
Right.
by putting barely enough staff. Amy Hennig can't even make her EA Star Wars game with 70 people because Uncharted, when she made Uncharted 2, had 140 people.
Yeah.
Less than half. So like the idea that like which happened first? I'd like to think it's EA because I think negatively about EA for everything. But I'd like to think that EA went up and said, we want a Mass Effect game, and BioWare was like, we're coming up with this thing, Anthem over here. We're currently brainstorming Dragon Age 4. Like, where do you want us to do a Mass Effect game? And they're like, we don't care. Do it. And now all of a sudden you're pumping out this hot garbage that's Mass Effect Andromeda.
It would make sense.
The timeline would make sense if that's the
They
case.
were working on something a while ago too, like probably like 2 or 3 years ago. They were working on some like 5v1 game or 4v1 game. I forget. It had like a super generic name.
Evolve.
Like, basically, but like, and it was right around that time when Fable Legends. Was
Vincent
still
Janita
coming
loves
out.
that game.
Basically, or it is. You're talking about Evolve.
That game
No,
lived
I'm
for
not.
a day.
Oh, you're not?
It was gone.
This was
fucking gone.
This was like
Turtle
some
Rock
game
single-handedly killed
that
that game.
This was a game that BioWare was making. It was at 1E3, had this super generic name, and it was totally hitting that Evolve and Fable Legends model of like 4v1.
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere, they're like, nope, we're canceling it. We're moving on to another project. And obviously
obviously it's Anthem.
Yeah, it's Anthem at this point because I guess they just saw what was going on with Destiny at the time because it was at least a year into Destiny's lifespan and noticing what that trend looks like. Games as Service, Division was out, and they wanted to hop on that bandwagon.
EA's obsession with making money is killing their games. Like, this is the first time. I mean, EA's been bad in the past, but their obsession with the financial output has killed Mirror's Edge.
Yes, it
has killed Battlefront.
I love Mirror's Edge so much.
It started
Star Wars
with
Battlefront
them
2.
killing the Saboteur.
Is that actually made? Oh shit! It is made by EA.
I'm about to leave this
about
goddamn.
to-
I had
hear the
to.
Saboteur one more time.
Yo, the Saboteur didn't even get this much name drop when it came out.
Right, exactly. You're making up for all of that.
This is the most the Saboteur's ever got.
Bringing it to the table, baby.
But like it happened with Star Wars Battlefront. It's happened with Need for Speed. Pretty much every game that EA is putting out is essentially this shriveled up version of what it used to be.
They're on fire.
Like they're on a roll with like just destroying franchises.
Yeah.
Not
like
in the
good
sense
fire.
that they're not fun to play, but in the sense that there's no memorable value to them.
Yeah.
There was more news and upvoted Reddit posts about the original Battlefront 2 getting their servers turned back on than there was about Battlefront 2 that EA was releasing. So it's like their obsession with this is just killing every game they
Another
release.
bullet point in the article was that part of the decision to reboot Dragon's Age was to try to figure out what live elements they could incorporate into the game to keep it as a service.
There's a reason Dragon Age Inquisition won Game of the Year. It's because it's a fucking RPG. And then you threw multiplayer in that shit too because Mass Effect 3 had it. And that
There was multiplayer.
There was
in that
multiplayer.
game. Holy
You-
shit!
It was 4-player co-op multiplayer, and you just ran
Weird.
through dungeons, cutting shit up, and that
Yeah.
was the end of it. With like no value.
It was a
outside of
Bloodborne
that.
Chalice dungeon mode.
It
Holy
was
shit!
barely. It was like the alpha of the Bloodborne Chalice dungeon
that.
mode.
But yeah, that's where we're at. That's a little nugget we got for Anthem development. But peripherally, Dragon's Age, EA as a company, how they're handling things. It's things aren't looking good because the pressure is on for Anthem to not be Destiny 2, to not be Battlefront 2.
Does anybody have any interest in Anthem? Even
I do.
I don't.
He does.
I
He
really
likes
do.
space.
I like
But-
space, future human.
But we already talked
Shit.
about this. How much of that game is Anthem?
Well, from what we've seen, we don't know because that trailer that we watched was like so. It might as well be an FMV created CGI the whole time. There was like,
But that's what I'm
you
saying.
couldn't
So,
glean
like-
too much from that.
But that's my concern. All I know is that this is a games with a service title. The only
environment
base
intrigues
of
me.
understanding that I have, if I'm going on history,
Yeah.
the Division didn't look anywhere close to what it eventually was. Destiny left so much content on the table that you never saw in the game.
Right.
Never saw it. Never saw the light of day.
The art book is phenomenal for all that.
I'm sure. So, like, when it comes
He
to
read it.
these kinds of games, Like
You know-
Ghost Recon Wildlands, as awesome as I'm sure it's been, the community is fantastic behind it. No one bought it. For Honor has its own esports thing. That was embarrassing, by the way. It had its own
Yeah.
esports thing. No one has bought it since then. The only real game that has actually gained traction is Rainbow Six Siege.
Yeah, impressively.
That's the only game. Obviously, you have games like Overwatch and a bunch of
thought that was
going
gonna
to stuff
disappear,
like that.
but yeah, it
but
hasn't.
Rainbow Six Siege is the only game that's like thriving.
Well,
Division is better.
That's got a
but
good
it's not.
broadcasting community too.
Absolutely,
People are playing it all the time.
People love that game.
That's what I'm saying. I did just buy Ghost Recon, so maybe I'm a part of a growing trend.
So that's the thing. So like with Anthem, the
don't
industry tells me I can't trust anything BioWare, and I love
Here's-
BioWare.
right,
I
I
can't
mean-
trust anything they're showing.
I understand what you're saying. From my
That's the
personal
pessimistic view.
investment in this is just that the environment.
Oh, absolutely.
And the
the
world,
ideas,
the
hands
ideas
down
grab me.
phenomenal.
So I'm like, oh, I want to know
If
more
I
about
can
what's
do
going
that
on
rocket
here.
move and like blow up a giant walker, I'm down.
If I can literally just like jump up and fly like it showed me in the trailer and land anywhere and
Sold.
jump with my friends anywhere and I don't have to like go to orbit and pick my planet and go to the level on the planet, then dude, I'm into it.
I like the idea of there being different suits that give you different advantages.
One buddy of mine did have a prediction. He said Anthem would be the first game that would be exclusively for One X because he doesn't believe it could run on the Xbox One very well.
With what they're showing, with
What they're
promising.
showing. They
Yeah.
said that was on the One X.
I don't think they
and
have
I
the
was like,
balls.
no, that shit was on the PC, first
Yeah.
of all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So don't lie to me. Secondly,
Remember when PlayStation posted the
PlayStation
video
did that shit.
and then they didn't even change the buttons? It was
they
like
didn't even change
yeah.
the buttons. They were like, so someone superimposed the L1 and R1 buttons over the LBRB buttons because they didn't have their own gameplay footage on a PS4 Pro because it doesn't look the same.
What you're talking about? What,
Anthem.
Oh, Anthem.
Yeah.
So for the Anthem gameplay demo, that was Xbox One X shown, quote unquote. PlayStation didn't get a demo that E3. So they took the Xbox One X demo and superimposed their buttons over the Xbox buttons. And people could see it and were
Yeah.
like, this is just the demo I just watched like an hour ago.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm live. I'm sitting in the crowd. I'm looking right at it. It's the same thing.
Do you remember when Watch Dogs released PC footage? or
Bruh,
whatever?
Watch Dogs at E3 was gorgeous.
Yeah.
They had trash floating in the wind.
That was a bait and switch for the
dude,
ages.
it was so. That's
And then it came out, and you were like, "What?"
Yeah.
Ubisoft.
It was
That was when
Isn't that
Ubisoft
good?
was fucking up. You know,
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know
they
it's
really were
bad
for a
when
while.
you are doing worse than Ubisoft.
Yeah.
When the Ubisoft community is like, "Yo, man, Rainbow Six Siege and The Division are great."
And Ghost Recon. I'm the one person.
That's all. If you're shooting Predator, okay, cool. But like when you got a whole country pissed at you, come on, man.
Yeah, they did. Oh,
When
man,
Bolivia
they
is
did.
furious
Yeah.
at their representation
Bolivia
of the
is
game,
so furious.
something's wrong.
That's not really fair to them. Yeah. But I
Big
love
ups,
it. Why didn't they just name it make up some fictional fake
It's Ubisoft, bro.
country? Like,
It's Ubisoft.
I don't know. We're gonna just stab at ideas here. We're not gonna know.
It's Ubisoft. I'm surprised they don't have real countries in like Rayman games. That's how fucking ridiculous they are. With that.
yeah.
Rayman lives in Australia.
I'd
You
do
know,
it.
it's
Yeah.
The retort from Ubisoft was great because they're just basically like, yeah, this is a work of fiction, like they say at the beginning of every
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed game.
This game is
No
created
one
by
from religious faiths.
multicultural.
multicultural and religious
cross
faiths.
faith. Yeah.
Like
team.
word, you got a tight Muslim community over there
Yeah.
that's like really down with. Okay.
I bet they did. They tapped some heads
yeah,
for
they
like
did.
the Middle Eastern stuff.
Well,
definitely,
yeah, for like, but for Assassin's, Assassin's
for
Creed 2?
Syndicate. They
Yeah, well,
tapped
you got a tight Muslim
yeah.
community for the Italian game, dealing with Catholics over there.
You've got to make sure when you flashback shit.
Hey, man.
FYI, Ghost Recon is exactly like the Division.
It's Division outside.
Only no bullet sponge, which is cool.
It's Division outside.
That's it.
I still, to this day, till the day I die, that was the last thing I'll say. The Division needs like dirt bikes or something.
Oh, that'd be dope, dude.
Bruh, running around that city is still so fucking boring.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
I started playing it on PC with Locke and Neo and them, and I was just like, this
What?
is in 4K and
It's
gorgeous.
almost the
and
whole
it's so
fucking
boring.
city. It's almost New York. It's Manhattan. It's Manhattan.
It's everything from like 14th to like 60th Street. So it's pretty much the entire middle of New York City.
Yeah.
That feels good for you though, being from there, right?
It doesn't look like it. I can go to the edge of 79th. My building's not there.
I did find only because I stayed in a place when I stayed in a hostel in New York for all these jobs I did. I stayed in a place that was next to a post office.
Yeah.
So the post office is a distinct
Is
thing.
there, yeah.
So I went to 38th Street between 7th and 8th Avenue.
And you found your
found the
corpse.
post office, and next door to it was a rendering of the building I used to stay in.
Yeah.
I think if the road is in, or if the street's in something that they need, like they'll be pretty
they'll be pretty
faithful in
accurate with it.
recreating it.
But
like,
that's fine. That's
they've
I just
skipped over
need
roads
I just
for
need
sure.
like a bike, like a skateboard. I need something.
Yeah, that'd be
That'd
cool.
be weird.
Something.
Really weird.
Skateboard.
I need
Skateboarding,
I
yeah.
need something to get from point A to point B that is
Tony Hawk the Division.
unlimited sprinting.
I'd be
Is the
into it.
development
Oh,
crew
bruh.
is the development crew for Ghost Recon the same as the Division? Because
No.
oh my
Massive
God,
Entertainment does. The
They're
Division.
so close.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
they're
I
so
guarantee you the
similar.
assets are the same. The only difference is you could shoot in first person in Ghost Recon.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah,
You can't shoot in first person. Yeah.
I love the idea of somebody doing an ollie while shooting him.
Oh, bro,
Yeah.
I need that.
Look,
Bruh, I
DLC.
just roll by.
DLC.
Wait, they still
please.
haven't brought vehicles into that, huh?
Well, I mean, I understand the premise. Like the streets are really tight. Like you're not gonna. But like
There's barricades. It wouldn't
there's
work for like
shit
a car to
everywhere
drive
in that
through,
game.
yeah.
But I like a
Yeah,
motorbike.
that would
like
work.
something
Yeah.
Yeah.
to get around. But I don't know. Destiny or the Division 2 maybe.
Division 2.
I was gonna say. So, can I
Or
say one
don't
more
you
thing?
mean Division 2 Brooklyn?
Division 2 Brooklyn? Can I say one more thing?
Yeah,
Okay.
totally.
Is there a reason that when Gaul showed up in Destiny 2, I lost my ability to do backflips?
Oh, you mean like as a human, like
As a
backflipping?
guardian, why is it that when Gaul showed up in Destiny 2, I lost my ability to do backflips?
What do you mean?
In Destiny 1, you could do backflips on the Sparrow. Is there a reason when
Oh.
Gaul showed up, I lost my ability to do backflips on a
wait,
Sparrow?
when you're like popping in the air and like
SRL, yeah.
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 I get why we don't do SRL.
Can you not flip
Why
around
can't
all the
I
way?
do tricks on Sparrows now?
I don't know.
Wow.
You couldn't do them in Destiny 2. When Destiny 2 launched, I lost my ability to do tricks on a Sparrow. That
didn't
to
even
me is
realize
a
that.
story element I didn't get, and I'm furious.
Wow.
Again,
I would do a whole episode on
just
lore.
that, like
Yeah, sure.
I might do a Jason Schreier like investigative report on all the shit that Bungie took out.
I was so confused because I'm sitting here and I'm like,
Destiny 2.
I don't understand.
Not an emote.
I'm like,
I was thinking,
I'm like,
like,
I
you-
backflip when I dodge as a Nighthawk.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
No. I mean, like, I'm
On
on a
the
Sparrow.
Sparrow,
I
yeah.
want to show off and maybe do a trick. And I used to be able to do like corkscrews
Yeah.
and like backflips.
Yeah, I remember. But didn't you have to have a specific Sparrow that does that?
That Sparrow doesn't
Some-
exist though.
Right.
Like, why
Wait.
all of a sudden that Sparrow doesn't exist?
Yeah.
Like you would like hit a shoulder button, it would like unlock the thrusters or something and let
Yeah,
you like
yeah.
whack, like move around a lot more in the air.
Yeah.
Yeah, they took that away.
So that's what I'm saying. So the only other reason that they've given that things were taken away in that game is because Gaul showed up.
The light, dude.
Gaul showed up.
The light
He
gives you
took the
some-
light, and
some
apparently
sick-
I got it back. And one thing that doesn't come with that is some Tony Hawk moves on my Sparrow.
real sick spins. You can't do it anymore.
Damn it! I might do that investigative report.
Those aliens at the end, they're gonna bring them
I'll
back.
act like I'm
darkness.
like I'm interviewing Ikora Ray and all that. Hey, girl, why can't
I know, Ikora, I know you ride. I saw you at the
I
end.
know you ride?
Like,
I saw you in the cutscene.
What's the deal?
The guy they
How
brought
come he
onto the
waited?
team to make Gaul his whole character. They got rid of the guy from Tony Hawk Pro
They
Skater
got-
2.
Yeah.
Hey, Diamond, it could have been worse. They could have been able to do it in the cutscene, and then you couldn't.
Oh, buddy,
That- yeah.
I would have been
you
furious.
see, like
real
Cade
mad.
doing it.
No,
Yeah.
He just winks at you.
you got
Yeah.
Zavala's big ass on a Sparrow doing
Yeah.
some corkscrews up here. Your boy can't, as a hunter, can't do nothing.
Yeah.
Come on, furious.
That's a great question.
Hey,
Well, that's something you all can ponder until the next episode of the Emergent Gamer Podcast.
Yeah.
This has been Trip Zero. Thank you, everybody, for listening. You can find us. Where are we at? Emergent Gamer? Emergent_Gamer? What is our
Emergent_Gamer on Twitch. Emergent_Gamer on Twitter.
Nice.
Emergent_Gamer on Instagram. Although we post to that only at events.
That could change. Follow it.
We'll change it. Follow it.
Don't be like, we're only going to post at events for that account.
No, I'm just being transparent.
For now, you can go back and look at some cool event photos. But you know,
you can, yeah, a couple of events.
we should do more of that. We will. You can find me personally. It's Trip_0 on Twitter and on Twitch. Follow me at both places, but I do tell you what's going on Twitter It's probably a fun environment. And I'm streaming more. I got to get my shit together. But I did 2 streams since I last recorded here. So that's good. It's progress.
Yeah.
I was doing Master Mode Breath of the Wild, but I might honestly like do as much Sea of Thieves as possible until the beta is done.
It's gonna be good.
Yeah. But yeah. Thanks, dudes.
Yeah, and this is Felix Hergood. You can catch me twitch.tv/Felix Hergood or mixer.com/Felix Hergood. I'm still doing the double stream, going at the same time to both. So I actually had somebody the other day in the stream go, Twitch is terrible right now. This sucks.
I was in
and
that
I said,
for that.
and I said, well, why don't you just view it through Mixer? And she did. So it was great. I was, so I do that.
Cool. Snacks the cat. Don't find me.
Love it. It's the best.
It's Diamondjab. You can find me twitch.tv, mixer.com, twitter.com/Diamondjab. You can also catch me, host of the GSM Podcast, twitch.tv/GSM_podcast. We love underscores here on our podcast shows, apparently.
I know.
The schedule is as per usual, either mornings or evenings, Monday through Friday on my Twitch and Mixer channel. Special events, though. This Sunday, we're going to be hosting our first fight nights, which will be on my channel, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will be...
I'm just going to say, so listeners out there, this comes out Friday.
Yes.
This will be the Sunday after this drop. So you have
Sunday
time
the 28th. You
to
got
hear
2
about
days
this
to
and make it.
Get some work in.
And there is no football this Sunday, no excuse.
There's the Pro Bowl, but fuck the Pro Bowl.
Right.
I mean, it's whatever.
Yeah.
So a bunch of people are going to be coming over. We're going to be playing some Dragon Ball Fighters. Competitive style. We'll be doing this once a month on my channel. 8 p.m. Eastern, twitch.tv/Diamondjab or mixer.com/Diamondjab, which would be really cool. So
cool. Mm-hmm. Catch you guys later.
Cool.
See ya.
Later.
Ironically, if you go back and play old baseball games, you can see exactly when players were accused of steroids because their player was no longer in the game.
Really?
Like Jason Giambi was in there, and then he got accused of steroids, and he was just this random white guy.
Whoa.
It's so
That's
funny.
amazing.
You can be like, oh, man, I got the new baseball game. Oh, Barry Bonds isn't in it. He's Joe Carter. Oh, man. you hate to see that.
Yeah. It's just like
I was hoping to break home run records.
The random ass name with an asterisk. Like, why is that there?